Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the SaWeL closure event. I think we can still wait for 1 minute for all the participants to join. I think we can still wait for 1 minute.
Hi, Nupur, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Great.
Do you see the screen, the shared screen?
I see your screen.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's brilliant. Okay. I can see we've already got 18 participants. Bonjour, Stephanie.
Hello to all.
Ça va?
I'm doing good, thank you. How are you?
Great, very well. Thanks
Great
for
to
joining
see
us.
you. Great
Yeah.
to see you all again.
And I can see Sylvan from Hydro Solutions, probably in Zurich.
Hello. Hello, Charlie.
I can see Tobias from Hydro Solutions.
Hello, everybody. Nice to be
Good
here
to
with
see
you.
Okay, who else have we got online so far? I can see Zelika Agida, presumably in Addis Ababa. Good morning.
Hello, Charlie, everyone. Hello.
Okay, I recognize people from Caritas, people from Wetlands. I recognize Hydro Solutions. Of course, I recognize SDC. What I don't see so far are, now I see Maury from WIZO in Bamako.
Hi, Charlie. Amy. Tim is also here. Amara is with me. This is
Maury. That's great. From Inwi in Addis. Okay, I think probably we're approaching a quorum. Shall I pass it to you, Nupur, and you can explain the way it's going to work and the housekeeping and things like this.
Yeah. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Welcome to the SaWeL closure event. It is being live broadcasted on YouTube on Wetlands International channel. And it is also getting recorded, which was already communicated before. So I'm happy that no one has a problem with it. The recording will later be shared with everyone so that you can spread it in your network and go forward with it. SaWeL project is on safeguarding Sahelian wetlands for food security. It is led by Wetlands International, co-led by Caritas Internationalis, International Water Management Institute, Hydro Solutions, and it also involves a few consultants that we, during the course of the event, got them on board. It is funded by Swiss Agency for Development and Cooperation. Today, it is being represented by Stephanie, who's with us. We will hear her talk at the end of the event. Why is my screen not changing?
I could hear you perfectly well, Nupur, by the way.
Thank you. So today's program is focusing on SaWeL in Sahel region, and Charlie Avis, who's the Senior Technical Officer for Rivers and Lakes and Wetlands International, is also going to chair the event. Our guest of honor is Stephanie from SDC. We also have Femke, who is the Director of Impact for Wetlands International, who will be joining us at later moment because of some clash. This event is also going to be focusing on 3 major sites that we have: Lakveglia, Suru Sub-Basin, and Zivaishala in Ethiopia. These 3 cases will be presented by different groups of different partners who are working in implementation on site. We will also have a presentation from the Sahel Water Web application that is developed for monitoring the progress, which is going to be delivered by Hydro Solutions. And we have ESAWM framework approach, participatory approach and results that is going to be shared by our external consultant, Zelika, who is with us, and then it will be concluded. The program will be 2.5 hours with some time in between for breaks. Over to you, Charlie.
So thank you, Nupur, and welcome everybody. Unfortunately, I don't know everybody here, but I know a number of you. Nupur, I wonder if it's worth taking probably 10 minutes right now for people to introduce themselves. I know that this can be time consuming, but I guess there's quite a few names that are not familiar to everybody, given the different countries and the different organizations. So I think it's worthwhile if we ask people to give a 20-second introduction to themselves and their organization. Do you agree? Nupur, can you hear me? You're muted.
Sorry, the voice is repeating for me because everything is getting recorded. Please continue.
Could we ask everybody to introduce themselves? Can we do that one by one? Because otherwise there might be some people who are confused, who's speaking, who's talking.
Please go ahead, but with small introduction, we do not have enough time for
absolutely.
all this.
So I start, Charlie Avis, formerly SaWeL project manager for 1 year for Wetlands International Global Office. And now I pass to Zelika, I can see.
Hello, everyone. I'm Zelika Agre. I work for Addis Ababa University, the Ethiopian Institute of Water Resources. And I participate in this project as a consultant for the SaWeL framework. Thank you.
And please pass to someone else that you see. We pass to Nupur.
I am Nupur, Technical Officer, Rivers and Lakes for Wetlands International. Mori, you go next.
Thank you. My name is Mori Jallo. I work for Wetlands International as team leader based in Niger Delta.
Let's go to Alam Seged.
My name is Alam Sakar Tamro. I am a senior researcher at International Water Management Institute, IMI. Amara is with me.
Hello everyone. This is Mare Haidaselassie. I'm principal researcher at the International Water Management Institute based in Addis Ababa. Thanks.
Okay, I see Adrian Kreiner.
Hello everyone. I'm working for Hydro Solutions and I'm looking forward to the meeting today.
Okay, let's go to Tobias.
Hello, everybody. Tobias here from Hydro Solutions, Hydrology, Water Resource Management, and Remote Sensing via satellite. That's us. Thank you.
Okay, maybe Silvan.
Hello, yeah, this is Silvan Raghetti from Hydro Solutions, hydrologist and remote sensing expert. Next to Edwan, I see. Edwan, you are muted.
Sorry. I'm Redwan Mohammed from Wetlands International East Africa, based in Addis Ababa.
Okay, let's go to Simene.
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Sameder Shifarrao from Wetlands Ethiopia, based in Addis Ababa. Work as program coordinator. Thank you.
Okay, I see Lucine Mauger.
Hi, my name is Lucine. I work for Caritas Switzerland. I'm program officer for Mali, and I'm based in Lucerne, Switzerland.
Okay, maybe we go to Grant.
I don't know if Grant can hear us. Actually, he wrote something in the chat.
Okay, so we try Carol.
Sorry, now I can hear you.
Oh,
right?
great.
Yeah. I had an issue with my computer, something like that. I didn't know what happened. I couldn't hear you, but now I can hear you. My name is Grant. I work for Caritas in Bamako. I'm not actually in Bamako, but I work for Caritas as a program manager, something like that, for SaWeL. Thanks.
Okay, let's go to Carol Shaber.
Yes, hi everybody. My name is Carol Schaber and I'm working for Caritas Switzerland in the operational management, and I'm in the supervisory board for this SaWeL project. So I pass to Lena.
Yeah. Hello everyone. I'm Lena Edouard. I'm the program director of Mali at Caritas Switzerland. Thank you.
Great. Let's go to Alameo Dinka.
Hello everyone, my name is Zanamayo Dinka from Zoaishala, SaWeL. I'm project officer.
Great, I see Faiz Lema.
Yes, hello everyone. This is Faisal Lama working for Caritas Switzerland, SaWeL project, working as project coordinator based in Zoai, Batu. Thank you.
Thank you. Habtamu Masala.
Hello everyone. My name is Habtamu Masala. I'm working for Caritas Switzerland based in Addis and monitoring and evaluation. So, thank you.
Thank you. Next I see Jens.
Hi, good afternoon. This is Jens, assigned as country director for Caritas Switzerland in Ethiopia, based in Addis. Good afternoon.
Thank you. Now I see Innocent.
Hi, everyone. I'm Innocent Mararungu. I'm the country director for Caritas Switzerland in Mali, based in Bamako. Thanks.
Thank you. I see Michael Elements.
Hi, everyone. Nice to see you all again. Michael Elements here from Wetlands International Global Office, working as a technical officer for the resource management.
Okay, now I see Regassa.
Hello, I'm Desalegn Regassa from Wetlands International Ethiopia. I'm a SaWeL project manager.
Thank you. Now I see Sabina.
Yes, good afternoon. So I'm Sabine Schild, and I'm the head of program of Caritas Switzerland based in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa.
Great. And now I see Sanatolo.
Hello, my name is Sanatolo, field coordinator, SaWeL Wetland International Mali. Thank you.
Great. Now I see Stephanie from SDC.
Yes, hi, Stephanie Pierce. I'm the program manager for this program for the past 2.5 years. And I'm working in the food systems section here based in Bern.
Oui, d'accord.
Great
Je
to
suis
see
dans
all
une
of you.
réunion Zoom là. Est-ce que je peux te rappeler? C'est Traoré, non?
We're getting down the list. I now see Tajin Karim. In Ethiopia, Tajin.
Charlie. Hello. Can you hear me, Charlie?
Yes. Tajin, we heard you.
Yeah, thank you.
A quick word of introduction.
Okay, I'm Tajin Karim. I'm currently working as a project officer at Rift Valley for Wetland International Ethiopia office, and directly engaging on SaWeL projects with Mr. Desalegn.
Thank you, Tajin. Okay, Thomas Wiedemann.
Yeah, I'm Thomas Wiedemann, freelancer for agriculture and TVET, and I'm supporting the SaWeL project in Ethiopia. So working closely with the program manager and work in the Caritas Switzerland office.
Thank you, Thomas. And then one that slipped my notice, Amadou, please, in Mali.
Yes, good morning. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me?
Yep, please go ahead.
Okay. I am Amadou Konate, Operation Director, Wetland International SaWeL Office.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, and as someone put in the comments, if you're not speaking, it helps to mute your microphone so that we don't get such background noise. So great. I think that's probably everybody. If anybody's missed, then please raise a hand or just jump in with an introduction. I think that was important. We have 30 people online for this meeting. So let's kick off. As we know, this project was working in 3 locations in 2 countries, Ethiopia and Mali, in one region of Africa, the Sahelian region. And I'd like to ask Nupur to please change the slide so that we can get into the presentations. So next one, please, Nupur. Thank you. So the overall title of the project, actually, or the overall goal, was that food security and nutrition in Sahel is improved by safeguarding wetlands through ecological, sustainable agricultural water management. Back one, please. Thanks. The outcomes that we were aiming for were that ecosystem services in these 3 priority wetland areas would be better able to support food production, food systems, whilst ecologically sustainable agricultural water management was supporting the ecosystem functioning, which underpins that. At the same time, smallholder food production in wetland landscapes should be boosted, should be economically viable, more viable, and providing improved prospects in livelihoods, especially for vulnerable social groups. We also had a kind of a proof of concept goal with this initiative, which was that land scale level approaches towards more ecologically sustainable, more market oriented, and more inclusive smallholder food production were mainstreamed and scaled up. So first tested and improved, implemented, documented, and then mainstreamed and hopefully scaled up, both at Malian and Ethiopian scales, but also into the wider Sahelian region of Africa. So one of the aspects that is very important, we always felt with SaWeL, was this kind of duality between the wetland ecosystems on one hand and the social, economic, agricultural systems on the other hand, so ecosystems and livelihoods. And then the other feature that we thought was especially important was this interconnected level of both intervention and implementation, but also impact. So the landscape level, the national level in Mali and Ethiopia, and then more broadly internationally. Next slide, please, Nupur. So just from our side and Caritas colleagues, please bear with us and allow us this, because it's the best way we have of showing how we see the more international upscaling for the proof of concept that we've helped develop through SaWeL, is that we see very much the potential, and we're investigating actively the opportunities for implementing SaWeL-esque or SaWeLian approaches and projects and initiatives, defining those with partners in the entire Sahelian region, and we do that primarily through a vehicle which is in partnership with CARE, International Alert, and one of the SaWeL partners, IMWI, in the different Sahelian countries of Africa, and this is what we call BLISS, which is Blue Lifelines Initiative for a Secure Sahel. And we'd be very happy to talk about that separately with anybody and everybody after this meeting. Next slide, please, Nupur. That's all we wanted to say at the overarching level, because we wanted to get into the meat of the projects. So I'm going to pass now to my Malian colleagues and ask them to then present the outcomes from firstly the Lac-Venia activities of SaWeL. So Nupur, could you mention who it is who's going to be presenting for Lac-Venia on behalf of Caritas and WISO? Thank you.
Grant is going to present. I think the speakers can unmute themselves and just continue presenting. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Grant, we give you the floor. Thank you.
Thank you for the floor. Nupur, is it possible to share my screen, or it's not possible? I would like to share my screen, something like that.
Are you showing the video now or at the end of the presentation?
Yeah, they are together with the presentation I made. The video, I put it in the presentation.
Sure.
Yeah?
I won't be able to record it. Can you just play the video, please?
Okay, let me start, and then maybe I will, when I will be at the video. When I will arrive at the video, you will maybe display it, something like that. Okay, thanks for the flow. And the presentation outline is, as you can see it, we are going to talk a bit about the main objectives and also the key interventions, actors with whom we worked, the outcome, the achievement, the impact statement, also the testimony. This will be the video and the preliminary lesson learned and the opportunity for outreach and scaling. Go ahead, please. Go ahead, please. Yeah, as you might see, the main objective was really to improve food security and nutrition in the Sahel through ecological, sustainable agricultural, water management. And the objectives were like, as you might know, ecosystem service, support food production, and smallholder food production is economically viable, and also the landscape approach is promoted in the region, something like that. And there you can also see the indicators that were really pursued. Go ahead. As you might, as you know, the project had should have 2 phases. Go ahead, Napur. The 2 phases, as you might see here in this on this figure, this first phase from 2019 to 2023, we were supposed to work on the intermediate outcomes, something like that, and the long-term outcomes should come after the second phase, something like that. But as we only worked for this first phase, I'm gonna present you, I'm gonna show you what we did, what we achieved at the intermediate outcomes, the ecological sustainability pathway change, and also the livelihood, income, and inclusion pathway change. And you can see here I think the indicators for what we were really pushing during the implementation of this first phase. Please go ahead for the first achievement, something like that. For the first achievement on the ecological sustainability pathway of change, we achieved, you can see here there is the baseline and also the target and the achievement of what we did, something like that. As you can see, yeah, the first one was really related to the first result is it was related to the adoption of the ecological sustainable agricultural management practices, water management practices that were adopted by people. At the beginning, only 10% of people could really practice those techniques, and the target was to reach 50%, but we reached up to 49% based on the figures we had in our system and something like that. And also we were targeting to really see how we can work with service providers to really focus on the adoption of those practices. We worked with some universities and also some research institutions to see how we can really reach to really see how we can really advertise or also make those practices available to people, smallholder farmers. And I think the indicator was number of services providers that promote the practice, the technical aspect of SAM, the ecological sustainable agricultural water management practices. So we were targeting 5, but we worked with 12 service providers. Between them, we can find some which are government services, state services, and also at the 3rd level, it was a kind of creating an enabling environment for these practices. So we worked with, we were supposed to develop some tools, policy tools, and and for that, we were targeting 4 tools or policy, but we reached 3 in terms, and I can say that we reached, the first one was, we created some kind of union of water community base, something like that, structure to really manage everything related to water at the watershed level. And also we worked on the local development program or plan for one of the commune in which we were working, and we contributed to that. So please go ahead, Napur. Yeah, in terms of people reached, the figures are here. In terms of ecological sustainability pathway, we reached 15,965 people. Women were 665,44, and also men and youth. That was really an inclusive intervention that reached all categories of people, something like that. Those people are now applying the techniques that we were promoting. They're applying them, and that had also a change on their way of working, their way of being, and also what they are getting from their agricultural land, something like that. And we'll see it maybe in the impact statement, something like that. Please go ahead for the achievement related to livelihood. In terms of what were reached, as you might know, we combine the 2 approaches, the integrated landscape approach and also the market system development approach. That's why we were also working at this level, the level of livelihood, income, and inclusion. And on this, you can see here the figures of the baseline. We were at 0, something like that, in terms of smallholder farmer not affected by food production failure, thanks to resilience. And we were targeting 30%. And service providers that worked in the market system development, some which are input suppliers, also others who are working at research and whatever, and also the policy tools that were developed. We achieved up to 31% for the smallholder farmers not affected by food production, a bit higher than the targets. And also for the service providers, we worked with 19 service providers, and also we achieved 3 policy tools in terms of union of cooperatives, because we we organized people in cooperatives, women and men, something like that, and they're working on those aspects. But at the level of the CERC, we organize them in two big union cooperatives, something like that. And go ahead. And in terms of service providers categories within SaWeL, we work with buyers and also study offices, microfinance institutions for credit, and also agricultural insurance, something like that. And also we work with some input suppliers, seeds, and also chemicals, green fertilizer. I should not say chemicals. It was green fertilizers, and also the government services were also, giving some kind of advices, and also they are working with people in terms of like extension, something like that. And these were what we realized. And also, please go ahead, we got something, we did some research, and this was done by Hydro Solutions. I don't know if Tobias is in the meeting, because we agreed that he will be the one presenting this. Tobias,
yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead.
I'm here.
Yeah, please.
I'm here. Okay.
Please.
So, yeah. Just very quickly, this is very exciting research that my colleague Silvan did. You know, at the onset, the question is how to preserve the Sahelian wetland of La Guinea, because as locals tell us, and as is evidenced by looking at the water levels, this lake is disappearing. You know, less and less water is stored in this lake over time. You see this on the left side with these declining trends of water levels. Now, my colleague Silvan, because we don't have any measurements locally on the ground, he developed a technology which he will present later on, with which we can monitor water levels and do a proper water balance analysis without having to rely on local data, which anyway does not exist. So we can look with the eye from the sky at the water levels and the changes therein, and then understand also the changes in the water balance and the changes in water availability. But not just that, we can also observe the sediment balance. And it helped us to identify these two elements, water level, water balance and sediment balance. It helped us to demystify sort of this what the underlying causes of the vanishing lake. Namely, it's not a sedimenting up, or not necessarily sedimenting up that leads to the loss of volume of water, but it's actually an erosion of the outflow, of the height of the outflow of the lake. And you see that the height of the outflow, the locals try to stabilize it with these cement bags, but this stabilization is haphazard and doesn't work really well. So the research of Silvan could really inform an implementation, an intervention on the ground that will help to stabilize the lake levels by building a small environmentally friendly dam, or implementing that actually with through the insights gained by this action-oriented research. Thank you. You're muted, Grant. You have to unmute yourself.
Thanks. I was muted. So I want just to talk a bit about the impact statement based on what we realized. And the SaWeL project has demonstrated that combining integrated landscape approach and market system development strategies can have a mutually reinforcing effects. The project has improved soil quality and productivity by implementing measures to enhance water management, reforestation, and conservation. And I can mention that thanks to what we did, we restored 1,415 hectares of lands via application of compost and also, yeah, natural generating activity, and also applying some kind of yeah, what we call cordon pierré, something like that, to protect land and also restore land, something like that. By combining this with actions aimed at strengthening all the actors in the agricultural value chain at the landscape level, from producer to retailer, the project has contributed to the creation of genuine markets for agricultural products. And go ahead, please, Napur, for the second. The project has contributed to the improvement of the income and living condition of communities. Also, the collaboration between people from different ethnic groups improved, and this created social cohesion, thanks to what was done in the in promoting some kind of what we should call the perimeter maraîcher, what we call, maybe I can call it the vegetable perimeter, where we were we were really working with women, and it created a kind of, it decreased the pressure on the lake, because during the dry season, all people were going, they were really going to work and doing everything in the close to the lake and some part of the lake, due to the fact that they were the only place where we can find water. But thanks to the creation of those perimeters in which we can find water, and people can grow some vegetables, women can work there, it created a kind of it decreased the pressure on lake resources, something like that. And we made it only in 3 villages out of 43 villages in which we were working, due to we didn't have a lot of resources to do it everywhere. And in those perimeters, we worked with 35 women-led households, and this reduced the load, their influence on water resources of Lake Wenya, by finding an alternative marshmallow production within the project, established marshmallow perimeters, something like that. And this, in a part for doing, or for maybe creating, generating resources for women and families, it also created a kind of social cohesion, because people from different ethnic groups were working together, and this contributed a lot to their cohesion, understanding, and they discovered each other and whatever, something like that. Yes.
Grant, sorry, you have to keep in time.
Yeah.
We have less than 5 minutes.
Less than 5 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, the preliminary lesson learned. The first one is a global and integrated approach is required to manage natural resources in developing countries in a sustainable manner, with a focus on 4 key components. First is capacity building, which include also sensitization, local governance, coercive measures, and inclusive management committees. The second lesson learned is the teaching of sustainable environment management practices to children, coupled with involvement of schools in the project, generates long-term change that improve the environmental sustainability, health, and food and nutrition security of households. The third one is to encourage the participation and engagement of young people in the development project. It is essential to design economic model that meet their immediate financial needs, incorporating components such as the transformation and conservation of agricultural products and the development of the transport sector. The last one, which is the fourth, go ahead, Nupur. The collaboration between women of different ethnic groups within a community garden promotes interaction, mutual understanding, and strengthening of social ties, dissipating ethnic stereotypes and fostering long-lasting trust, illustrating the benefit of diversity and cooperation for strengthening social cohesion. Those are lessons learned that we got, and there are some illustration from what we were doing and how we got also some testimonies that people gave, something like that. Go ahead to maybe the last. Go ahead. Yeah, and the two opportunity for outreaching. The SaWeL project has achieved many positive results in the context of sustainable water resource management, which must be scaled up and capitalized upon in similar region. And the need for integrated water resource management persists in the intervention zone despite the abrupt termination of the project, which threatened to stifle the momentum that had begun to take shape in the mind of the population in the area. So yeah, with what we did, and I can say that Caritas and its partners are seeking funding to continue the SaWeL intervention in the region for greater sustainability of results and scale up what we got already in that area. Thanks a lot. I think the video, yeah.
Grant, can you take over the screen and share your video, please?
Pardon?
Please share your video as you mentioned.
Can you see it?
Yes. Can you increase the volume?
Dans le but de lutter contre la pauvreté et augmenter les revenus des populations rurales autour des zones humides dans le Sahel, le projet SaWeL promeut une approche de développement durable en faveur des couches de population vulnérables, notamment les jeunes et les femmes. Initié en 2019, ce projet est porté par un consortium composé de Caritas Suisse, Wetlands International, de l'Institut international de gestion de l'eau, IWMI, Hydrosolutions, et une dernière ONG locale, Association malienne pour la protection de l'environnement et de la faune, AMPEF, sur un appui financier de la coopération suisse sur une période de 4 ans. Afin de promouvoir le changement pour un système de production juste et équitable, en toute durabilité, le projet soutient d'une part des activités de conservation et restauration des ressources naturelles dans le bassin versant du lac Ouénia, et d'autre part le renforcement de la sécurité alimentaire et la promotion de l'économie locale grâce à un meilleur accès au marché. Le projet SaWeL appuie les petits producteurs et productrices à s'organiser en coopérative afin de créer une économie d'échelle pour l'accès au marché.
Le projet SaWeL est une initiative à la demande de la population riveraine du lac Ouénia. Il a pour objectif d'améliorer la sécurité alimentaire et nutritionnelle tout en sauvegardant les zones humides grâce à une gestion responsable et inclusive des ressources naturelles. Alors, le projet SaWeL est mis en œuvre par deux partenaires, le partenaire Caritas Bamako et l'ONG AMPF. Le projet traite deux composantes intimement liées. La première composante est la conservation et la restauration des ressources naturelles, dont l'ONG ANPF est entièrement responsable. Aujourd'hui, nous pouvons dire que grâce au projet SaWeL, nous avons pu récupérer plus de 1200 hectares de terres dégradées. Donc, et la deuxième composante est la sécurité alimentaire et la promotion de l'accès au marché, dont l'ONG Caritas Bamako est le responsable. Aujourd'hui, grâce au projet, nous avons pu mettre en place 27 coopératives, des coopératives mixtes, des coopératives hommes et des coopératives femmes. Ces différentes coopératives sont encadrées par le projet, chacune dans son domaine d'activité.
Aujourd'hui, nous encadrons 27 coopératives, dont les coopératives maraîchères et les coopératives de sésame. Donc, la transaction entre les différents acteurs, comment dirais-je, est facilitée comme suite. D'abord, le projet a eu à formaliser d'abord les producteurs de sésame en coopérative. Donc, après leur formalisation, donc, nous avons développé l'opération chaîne de valeur de sésame. Donc, dans cette opération chaîne de valeur, nous avons les différents partenaires. Ces partenaires sont entre autres, d'abord, nous avons les coopératives formalisées. Nous avons la coopérative Beledougou, qui est une coopérative de fournisseurs d'intrants de proximité. Nous avons aussi OCO, qui est une structure d'assurance agricole. Aussi, nous avons RMCR, qui est une institution de microfinance. Et nous avons enfin la société de Bataïtien, qui est une société d'acheteurs de sésame.
Pour gérer les risques et rendre les populations plus résilientes face au changement climatique, le projet promeut l'adhésion à une police d'assurance agricole. L'assurance OCO permet d'indemniser les coopératives paysannes en cas d'intempéries extrêmes.
OCO est une société qui fournit de l'assurance agricole aux petits exploitants. Les cultures que nous couvrons sont le sésame, le mil, le sorgho, le maïs, le coton et l'arachide. En parlant d'assurance agricole, nous couvrons un peu deux risques spécifiquement. Les deux risques sont notamment la sécheresse et l'inondation. Donc, le modèle OCO est à base indiciaire, c'est-à-dire que nous utilisons les données à distance, les données satellitaires. Et ce que cela veut dire, c'est que les évaluations sont automatisées. Donc, à la fin de la saison, nous sommes capables de pouvoir évaluer sans l'intervention sur le terrain. Nous sommes capables d'évaluer un peu les risques, les dommages réalisés au cours de la saison en termes de pluviométrie. Donc, cela nous aide à payer automatiquement les sinistrés. Et je pense que le partenariat avec Caritas nous a vraiment permis de toucher un nombre de producteurs, d'assurer le revenu d'un grand nombre de familles. Je pense que ça, c'est une des leçons apprises. Et quelque chose que je recommande naturellement, c'est de voir comment mettre à échelle ce projet pour qu'elle soit aussi pérennisée et de toucher plus d'agriculteurs dans le futur.
Dans l'approche systémique du projet, les acteurs des chaînes de valeur agricoles représentent les cibles stratégiques visant à propulser un développement économique, social, inclusif.
An kartasi ga jɛɲɔgɔnya kɔnɔna na u y'an dɛmɛ an ye gabakuru sira da ni kartasi ka yiri yɛrɛma falen kɛ ka tila ka yiri caman turu an ka ba kɛrɛfɛ gabakuru sira ye dalen kɔ kɔlɔn minnu kun bɛ ja olu tɛ ka ja bilen n y'a jateminɛ fɛnɛ ni sa nana ni sa tigɛra n'i bɔra ka yaala gabakuru sira ninnu da la i b'a sɔrɔ kalakalaw dɛlɛnnen don bɔgɔw dɛlɛnnen don olu kun na jigin ba kɔnɔ olu si tɛ jigin bilen o baara ninnu mana sinsin ka sigi sen kan a bɛ kɛ fɛn caman ye ka caman bɔ an ka gɛlɛya la parce que ni ji sigira an bolo sisan jɛgɛba bi sɔrɔ jɛgɛw tɛ taa mais ni ba jara jɛgɛw bɛ taa tilema mana bɔ tɔɔrɔ b'an kan an tɛ foyi sɔrɔ.
projet an ka sɔrɔ yiriwa sira minnu fɛ o ye u nana ni kalansen dɔ ye ka don an kɔrɔ k'an ka tɛmɛ o sira minnu fɛ ani ka ladilikan dɔw fɔ k'an bilasira olu dɔ ye ka jiri yɛrɛma falen bila foro kɔnɔ ani ka kaba sira da foro kɔnɔ ani ka nɔgɔ dingɛ sɛnɛ ka farafin nɔgɔ matarafa k'o don an ka suma na o tɛmɛnen kɔfɛ unana kana ange toni kansigi o tonto ka togodalo munye cooperative we ani mogodo fene jira nyogona munye barake nyogon doy olu be ni amagbe shinyumana ka shinyuma soro ani o sano fene ani juro kani olu fene jira nyogona o temene ko fo ye ani kesu do fene tege do nyombolo ni sete toye ame juruta donc ame barake ame flaga olu ta senge oluma yo o demone kan yani projet benna misale an gan mi furiba soro ni an kuna alabe ama yiri betike ka boy parce que an kunta do yiri yerma fale na fami mala bon an kunta yiri yerma fale an kunto bla bon kabasira da fene an kunta o nyedon ni projet kan nanite jiro munu be ni jibi boli ni sanji nana ni jibi boli ni yoro do be ja do ka konga ja do olu fene o mangi o dese kumi ye foro la o yoro kumi chen ali ni nogo kala ni sanji nana donc sanji ben nogo fama de tabi boli ka bona foro kono donc sumaya te basigi donc nana o kala kan kuna ye kabasira dali minge foro la ka yiri yermo fale blali munuke ka farafin nogo matra fale munuke olu de kira sababu ye bi ka dunga fa de sabati anga du kono anga gwa kono krere fa ka sanga sikdam donc ami mi ni projet fe halibi o ku hakili tona ante munun do halibi ko nye fanyana kan blasira ka ladelika jonyon damo munu misika halibi anga bare nyaka damo kateminina.
On travaille avec les populations dans le bassin versant depuis 2018. On couvre tous les 43 villages dans le bassin versant. Dans chaque village, il y a un comité de surveillance des ressources naturelles qui ont été formés par le projet. Dans les 3 ans qu'on est actif, on peut constater aujourd'hui qu'à peu près 13 000 personnes appliquent en réalité ces pratiques et ces technologies promues par le projet. Je suis assez confiant qu'aujourd'hui, les coopératifs et les comités dans les villages, ils peuvent opérer de manière autonome et les activités vont continuer après projet. Il sera important pour ces mêmes coopératifs d'avoir des structures intermédiaires qui les permettent de faire attendre leur voix au niveau régional et au niveau national. Donc, on souhaite vraiment continuer dans une deuxième phase à renforcer et à créer des structures au niveau intermédiaire pour ces mêmes populations.
Le projet a donc contribué à créer les conditions pour un environnement favorable pour l'épanouissement des petits producteurs et productrices agricoles, tout en jouant un rôle de facilitateur et intermédiaire pour garantir la résilience des populations vulnérables face aux conséquences des changements climatiques.
I think that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Grant. Sorry, because the presentation took a little bit longer than anticipated. Please send in your questions in the chat to Grant and he will try to answer it. Also, other speakers are also welcome to answer the chat questions. Let's move on to Suru before we have a break. Mori, unmute yourself and please start the presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I would like to share my screen because I have the last version of my presentation.
I'm sorry, Mori. Can you please add on while you speak? And yeah.
Can I share my screen?
No, Mori, I'm really sorry. You already sent the presentation. Could you continue and add while you talk? Thank you.
Yes, but I have the last version of my presentation. Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, maybe go. Let's go. But I am afraid about my connection. Maybe I have to switch off my camera, and I ask to most of you to switch your camera because I am in the Niger Delta where the connection is, the flow of internet is very, very low. Yeah. Okay. The first Japo. Yes. Nupu. Yes. No. The PowerPoint presentation first. The PowerPoint presentation, not the video, the PowerPoint. The PowerPoint presentation. not. It is not the first diapo. Go back to the first diapo. It is not the present. You heard me, Nanopo? Go back
Mori,
to
this
the
is the first screen that you shared?
No, not at all. It is not my first presentation.
Please share your screen, Mori.
Yeah, I think it's better. Okay. My presentation. Okay. You see my presentation?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm very pleased to present the output of this project after taking over the lead some months ago. As an introduction, the Sulu Basin in the left is part of the river Volta and drains approximately more than 50 kilometers square and divided almost between Mali and Burkina 1550. The water body in the right is the arm which water the Malian part of the Sulu. This water body dynamic is depending on the flow regulated by the Leri Dam. As you can see here, you see the Leri Dam. The Leri Dam. That is why transboundary agreement need to better deal with the water management. The challenges, the most important challenge is how to overcome or how to reverse the degradation trend of the whole landscape. Of course, the implementing partners are WISO, UMI, Caritas, and Hydro Solutions. The overall objective is to improve food security and nutrition in the Sahel by safeguarding wetlands through ecological sustainable agriculture water management. And the specific objectives are threefold: develop and communicate innovation relevant to agricultural systems, to contribute to local and national goals of maximizing food security, and to improve livelihood. What are the intervention sites? The project is implemented in 2 administrative delineations called prefectures in 10 villages. And the targets are consisting of small holders, farmers, with a focus on the inclusion of vulnerable groups, I mean women, youth, and migrants. What kind of strategy we set up to reach this target? This approach is within a strategy to involve all stakeholders. One of the most important steps is the identification of villages to benefit from the project income in the aim to avoid conflict between people in the future. That is why this kind of workshop is shared by local top-level administration, as you can see in this picture. Following to that workshop, we have to validate the selected villages based on the criteria defined previously. So the field mission for that identification is organized by our field coordinator to inform the village council and other legitimities to the result of the workshop. This is very important to narrow down the risk of conflict. What are the outcomes? We have three main outcomes. The ecosystem services of the Suru Basin enable the production of food security. Small order food provision in wetland landscape is economically provide improved opportunity for the group. And the last, the local scale approaches to more ecological sustainable market oriented, including smallholder food production, are being integrated and scaled up. So, with regard to these three outcomes, the two top have been achieved fully or partially, while the last has been partially or not achieved because of lack of co-finance. Now I want to introduce the outcome achieved. We have the matrix is consisting of outputs, indicators, and achieved output. For example, in output one, the best practices and technologies for the Sulu Basin on ESAM are known, available, and used by small scale. So what have been achieved here? 11 technologies, of which 10 have been tested by 70 small scale producers during the test in 2020 until 2023, I mean this year. And for testing this technology, 70 kits have been used and supporting, and many kind of certified seeds have been used. I mean, for rice, millet, and beans. So you have the testimony pictures in the right arm. The second key activities are the support in one market gardening, kit consisting of water can, rake, hose, and bucket. In total, 740. And besides, 35 tons of organic fertilizer have been used. And the support has been used in the kitchen garden, mainly led by women. In 2002, the production of onion variety purple garlic from a sample of 69 producers include 38 market gardeners and 31 women from the site around Laxo. And the yield has been around 1.025 tons. When up to output 1.2, the provision of coaching and training to facilitate the implementation of best practices and technologies to smallholder food products strengthen the cooperative ESAM. So, the use of the selected seeds of different varieties of vegetable, the use of the suitable kit for each specific site, and as a result, we have 4 women and 10 years and 1 adult have been benefit from the support to implement the ESAM activities in the rural area. And here we have the different pictures showing what has been carried out by local communities on the different fields. Concerning output 2.1, the service provider and other system actors promote ESAM options. And the output 2.2, the capacity of service provider and other system actors strengthen the promotion of ESAM So if we look at this output, we have 5 local service providers which benefited from that, and the 2 agents of the government have been capacitated to carry out this activity on the field. Output 4.1. The first indicator of this output is the wetland health based on waterfall. The monitoring along the site was difficult due to insecurity in the area. Nonetheless, the regional directions of water and forest managed to carry out the census, which gave 36 species of water birds compared to the previous one, which was 32. And the second indicator is related to water level, which is among the 3 most important parameters of hydrology volume. This water level in average has been 359.89 during the last 3 years, which is above the maximum tolerable for the variety of rice cultivated in the site. That is the reason of the loss of the harvest due to flooding. This has been very concerning for communities. Output 5, sustainable smallholder farmers improve food and economic security. As achieved results from 2021 to 2023, 1,250 producers have been trained in terms of food and nutrition security. In terms of agroforestry, 600 trees of different species, the native species and the citrus fruit, have been planted. Output 5.2, local cooperatives for rice cereal promote best practices and technologies to reduce food production risk and generate more income per unit. So, as a result, we have 10 production cooperatives who have been capacitated to better to use these technologies. And the last output is the proportion of youth, women, and migrants that have been increased in decision making. This has been the most important output because 100 out of 100 decision making position in women organization. This has been a very fruitful result, and more than 30% or even 15% of young people participate in community solidarity organization and collective work. And the last but not the least, the former migrants present in the village are already integrated in the system. This has been very, very important as a result in the area. So here is the short video of 4-5 minutes to showcase what has been done in the Suru site.
Mori, there is no sound on the video. Do you mind if I share the video?
Sorry?
There is no sound coming out of the video. Do you mind if I share the video?
There is a sound. You don't hear? Nupur, you don't hear?
Mori, video is playing.
Yes, the video is running. The video is running. You don't hear the video?
I can't see the video.
You can see? Maybe Nuper, you can.
No sound.
You can share your screen. Sorry?
No sound from the video. We can see it, but no sound coming.
I don't know how to. Maybe Nupur, if you have a video, you can play it. I don't know how to. Sorry, we did not see anything from the pictures because of the internet deep flow.
Mori, the recording is being live telecasted, so it can be also seen later. The video is really screeching, and I do not understand why the video is screeching. I will try to share my screen again and focus on the break, and probably then I will figure out why is it screeching so hard.
Okay.
I think there is someone else's mic that is on that is adding the... Mori, can you switch off your mic?
Sorry?
Can you try? There is someone's mic still. Let's go on for the questions if you have any for Suru team. Thank you. Is there any question for Suru Sub-Basin team? Please unmute yourself and go ahead. Charlie, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you to the teams for the presentations on Venya and for Suru. I just would like to say that from Wetlands International side, we aim very strongly to maintain both the presence and the work in Suru. And at the moment, we're working on integrating Suru into the next phase of a different initiative that we have called Water, Peace and Security. And we're talking with external donors about funding that, which would enable us to continue in Suru and enable us to continue with many of the activities and achievements of SaWeL so far, just as a point of information. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. If there are any questions, please put them in the chat, or you can also use this time to ask it directly to the team. Otherwise, the next set of events is a 5-minute break. I hope we can all get back at 2:35, if that is okay with everybody.
Nupur?
Yes, please.
Sorry, I just, so this last video was shared by you, right?
Yes.
So the audio was not good in the first place, or is it a technical problem by sharing the way you shared?
No, it was not a technical problem. Someone's mic was on, and that was adding the screech, the high frequency noise that you were listening.
Okay, so when we come to our video, can we just agree, we briefly try? If it's working fine, we show it, and otherwise we just take our backup plan.
You want to use this time to check the video?
I mean, you can. I mean, I think you will be sharing it, right?
Yes, I will be. But I think instead of directly sharing it in the presentation, I'm going to play it on YouTube. If that is okay.
We can try. I can tell you if it works. Yeah.
Perfect. I will just share the screen, play it up.
And otherwise, you have still included our 3 slides that I sent you, right?
I did.
Okay, so let us see how it works.
Nupur, was my video also, the video I shared was running the same as the one of Suru?
No worry,
Grant.
No worry. No, Grant. We could hear nicely and clearly. All good.
Okay, I'm sharing the screen now for new text testing.
So also no sound, huh?
You cannot hear any sound?
No. No sound.
Okay.
So then my suggestion
I can't see also. I cannot see anything, and I can't hear anything from the video you are sharing.
I saw the video, but no sound.
Yeah, but then let's just directly skip the video because video without sound doesn't make sense either.
Yeah.
Nupur, can you just try to make the video without your micro on? Maybe it's your own micro which is disturbing. Maybe you try again.
Thomas, I'm really sorry. I cannot hear if someone else is talking because there are multiple voices that I can hear, and I don't know why that is happening.
Yeah, maybe you can try the video again from Sabine, and try to make it like without your own sound on. It's possibly that you have your own micro is disturbing the sending out. Maybe you just check it.
You're suggesting to turn off my mic on the laptop.
Yes, just while doing the video. Maybe that's the solution.
Check it again now, please, if the volume is there or not.
No sound yet.
No, it's the same. It's as usual.
It's the same, yeah. It's really sad.
Thomas, was the volume available now?
No, it was not.
Okay.
It seems to be
Then
a
Sabina,
problem
I
with...
suggest, could you share your own video? I'll make you co-host. Yeah. Sabina, you are going to present, right?
No, other team are going to present the Salih from Wetland and myself from Curtis.
Okay, Yisa, can you try to make the video and share it?
Thomas, I can share, but it's
Yeah.
a technical issue. It's a technical issue of sharing videos via Teams because I've already tried in the past.
With the Zoom, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay,
So,
because
now
the first one was perfect.
Yeah.
The first video was you could see it and you can listen, so there was no problem with that one.
Nupur, I can try to share my screen.
Yeah, please.
I'm going to make you co-host, and then you can do it. Will that work?
Let me see. So I'm not co-host yet, right? Nupur, I'm not co-host yet.
You want to share your screen, Sabina, or do I share the presentation?
Yeah, but it's not working. Yeah, but I receive a notification that it's not working, the screen sharing.
Sabine? Hello?
Yes.
Hello, Sabine? Hello. Hello, this is Amare Sabine.
Yes, I hear you, Amare.
Yeah, why we don't have, do you have other alternative as a backup to video?
Yes, we do have. So let me just try this last option.
Maybe try it,
and then
Sabine. I can see now
we
the
just
video.
try it once. We try it once, and if it's not working, we take our backup. Is she?
I think that would be good. Thank you.
Yeah. So, did you hear anything?
Nope, I did not hear you.
No.
Is she? We skip the exercise. We go to our backup plan. So no problem.
Understood.
Yeah, no problem.
Then I will share my screen if that is okay, because
yes,
I have the present. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, all good. Thank you.
Thanks for trying.
It's okay.
Thank you for preparing the backup. That's very useful, really.
At 2:35, we will resume back after the break, and I would suggest everyone go to mute again, please. Thank you. Welcome everybody again. I hope you had a good break, though short, but I think it will work. The next presentation is by Silvan Ragetli, Dr. Silvan Ragetli from Hydro Solutions, and they will be talking about spatial analysis tools for monitoring water bodies and wetlands. I'm going to let Silvan share his screen and we're good to go.
Yeah, hello everybody. So I will present a tool that we developed for the SaWeL project, which is based on remote sensing data, which we can use for monitoring water bodies and wetlands. And this tool was developed with technology that we first applied in Latvia. So this is really technology that we could use for our study in Venya, and then also make it useful at the continental scale, so that this can be useful not only for one water body, but we can really use it for monitoring wetlands at the continental scale. Sorry, it's very disturbing because some people have not switched off their microphones. So please, everybody mute themselves.
Let me just try to last.
Yeah, now it's better. Thank you. Okay, so for what do we need this tool, or for what do we need this remote sensing data in general? So with this technology, we can collect relevant data to observe the state of water resources, to understand how much storage is available, what are the trends over time. And then we can also, with this information, we can also try to understand what are the drivers of change in availability of water resources in the Sahel. And so we can also, with continuous monitoring, we can also assess the effectiveness of interventions. And the information collected will provide a base for optimal joint operational management decisions. As we mentioned before, this was inspired all by the work done at Venya. So as you heard before, when we first went to Mali in February 2020, visiting the lake, we had absolutely no idea why there is this negative trend, why is the lake disappearing? And there was no field data available. And so we had to develop new methods that allow us then to step by step understand what is going on. So to unravel the whole water balance and sediment balance, to really understand what are the causes of these changes. And the advantage of this remote sensing technology is that it is easily applicable also at other places. So we are not restricted to Latvia, but we can also apply exactly the same method elsewhere. I want to mention also that this methodology that we developed for Venya was published in a scientific journal, and you see the link here. So based on what we learned from Venya, we developed this app. It's an Earth Engine app called Sahel Water. You see the link here. And in this app, we have currently several hundred water bodies, lake, river stretches, wetlands available for selection. And for all of these points that you see on the map, we have also we can also measure trends in water availability. First, I want to say a few words about what are the methods behind this app. So this app is based on optical remote sensing data and satellite laser altimetry. So optical remote sensing data these are just images that we can easily interpret now, where we see the lake, for example, or we see the rivers and see how they change over time. But we don't have, so this provides us information about the area of the water with different machine learning algorithms that identify water inside the image. But this alone does not tell us what is the water level. So for the water level, we need also altimetry information about the height of the water surface, and we combine this in a innovative way with the optical remote sensing data to obtain time series of water levels then. And also we obtain information on sediment fluxes. So where do we have erosion? Where do we have sedimentation? And multi-year trends in all these variables. So again, the example of Latvenia, you see here the green color, the outline of the water body for one given image. And here in grayscale image, so the inset image in B, this is the bathymetry of the lake. And now for each pixel below the green line, we have elevation information. And this elevation information is our water level for this given moment in time. And we do that we process like thousands of satellite images for different days for all years since year 1999. We obtain a time series of water levels. And as you see here, we also validated some of these time series with other data sets that we found, but this is not for Venya. As I mentioned before, Venya, we don't have such data. But for other water bodies in the Sahel, such time series are available. Here, the gray line is from the Tahiti database, and the blue and orange points are the water levels derived from different sensors, from Landsat satellites and Sentinel satellites. We see there's a really good agreement here. So we can use this method to obtain time series of water levels. And here, this is to give you an impression of the patterns that we identify of sediment deposition and sediment erosion. Here, example of rivers, where we see very beautifully so these very dynamic systems where we have a lot of erosion and sedimentation, of course, in rivers. But this also we have also in lakes, and this can in some cases lead to storage losses. So there is if we have sedimentation over time, that this can lead to a reduction in storage capacity of water body. So this is important to monitor for that reason. And if we look at the trend, so as I mentioned, we have the water levels over the last 20 years. We can also look at the trends. So are the water levels increasing or decreasing? And we can do that for every point on the map. And here, so red means we have a decreasing trend, so less water, so decreasing water levels. Then blue means increasing trends. And then like light blue and light red are also trends, but not as statistically significant. And the size of the point indicate like the magnitude of the trend. So is it a very strong trend, or is it just like a slow trend? But yeah. And all this for the dry season, when people rely mostly on water sources from these water bodies in Sahel. And what we see here is that we have a very heterogeneous picture where we see that blue and red points. So that means we have at the same time locations where we see increasing water levels and others locations where we see decreasing water levels over time. And we conclude from this that the trend is not determined alone by the climate. So we have in the same region, we have increasing and decreasing trends, but it's determined by other factors such as how much water is available for storage, how much water comes in during the dry season, how much water is used. And in every example, in every point here, it would have to really specifically look for the drivers of change. Whereas for the wet season, we have a more homogeneous picture where we see more increasing trends. So there is a trend of more water available during the wet season in the Sahelian zone, except for the Horn of Africa, Ethiopia. But in the west, central, and also the eastern part until Sudan, we see more water available in water bodies during the wet season over the last 20 years. Except for very few examples. So what are the red points that we see here? One is actually Venya, so here. And one is Abichata in Ethiopia. Although I have to mention that Abichata, I think it recovered in the last 2 years. So this trend is over the period 2000-2020. It's possible that Abichata recovered in the meantime. But Venya, it's still persisting, this problem, that even in the wet season, we have a loss of available water. And it's definitely like a very interesting case and very relevant case. So it shows us that we chose well our study area, because there's definitely like a problem with Lac Venya, something that is not related to climate, but is related to other factors. And as we mentioned before, it is related to erosion of the outflow, so backward erosion leading to decreasing water storage capacity over time. So that is really an important case here, Venya, also if we compare it to other water bodies in the Sahel. Now I wanted to show you a live demonstration of the app, but I also recorded stream. I also recorded the screen, so you can see that here it is faster than if I now move to the browser app. But you can later yourself, you can try out with this app. So with this link here, you can use, for example, Chrome, Google Chrome browser, or also other internet browsers. And you can select a water body. Here in the example, we selected Venya. We have the information up to 29th of September 2023, so less than a month ago. We have up-to-date information. So the project will end, but this app will still update itself and provide information about the water levels. And we see here we are at the end of the wet season. The lake is full. And but what we have seen in the past is that after the end of the wet season, the water levels are decreasing rapidly because there is the outflow level decreased. So it's really a very strong outflow when there's no more inflow to the lake. So basically the whole lake drains into the river downstream. And also we can look at the sedimentation patterns. Here zoomed also to this location where we have sedimentation, because here's the inflow to the lake, one of the inflows, some sedimentation area where sediments are deposited over time. But this is not the main cause for the main problem causing the loss of storage capacity, because in other places of the lake we have also erosion. So there is like the sediment balance is, there's not we don't have more deposition than erosion. But the real problem is really the erosion at the outlet. So that what decreases the storage volume, because like if you think about the lake as a bathtub, is basically the rim of the bathtub gets lower and lower, so less water can be stored. Yes. Okay. So now I think you have gotten an impression of this tool and what it for what it can be useful, and for what we can use, for what we can see there. And I want to mention also that this technology that we developed here has then also been applied elsewhere. So it has already been very useful for monitoring water storage in Indian reservoirs, in the state of Gujarat, for example. We have also applied this exactly the same methodology in the Sharafshan River Basin in Uzbekistan for assessing the water energy food nexus. And so this, I want to conclude with stating that this technology is already benefiting stakeholders in water resource management, not only in Venya, but also elsewhere in outside the Sahel zone, thanks to technology that we could develop for this project. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sylvan. There are not a lot of questions yet, except one question that is on whether this application is also applicable or working for Lake Abhyjata, or was it only made for Lake Abhyjata, or is it also for Lake Zibai?
Yeah, for Lake Zibai is not included in the in the app currently, because there are really the water level changes of Lake Zibai are very small, so it is on the same time it's a large lake with very little variations in water level, which makes it difficult to apply exactly the same methods without adapting it to Lake Zibai specifically. So that's why in the current version of the app, there are many water bodies that are still not in the tool. There are hundreds that are, but there are still hundreds that are not. It's also because we are restricted by what altimetry data is available. And the satellite that we use that provides altimetry data is it started in 2018 and still collecting data. So the longer this satellite is collecting data, the higher is also the success rate for being able to generate all this information for more water bodies than currently available in the tool. So it's definitely a tool that can be further improved, and to include more water bodies, to include new data from altimetry data from this altimetry satellite, and yeah, so to provide for specific water bodies also adapted. So to adapt slightly the methodology to provide specific solutions for water bodies that are currently not included. So that's why, unfortunately, currently Zibai is not included, but Abhyjata is included.
The next question, Sylvan, we have 6 minutes. If you could answer it within that, is from Stephanie. She says you have a wide set of regions data points collected. How do you link those to the communities, authorities to act upon the conclusions, observations for action?
So, I mean, I think Venya is like a very beautiful example where we have, on the same time, we have done this analysis basically in front of the computer. No, well, we visited also Venya in 2020, and we went. We also presented these results in Bamako in 2022, I believe. But we have also people on the ground that can verify our conclusions and can communicate the results, and can then together we can decide about recommendations for what measures should be taken. And in this case, in Venya, it was decided that this déversoir, so this dam, should be constructed because this is the only like a solution that can save the lake in the near future. And this is actually now ongoing. So, and then for all other points in the database, in our tool, I think the same approach would be necessary in order to decide about interventions and to specifically identify drivers of change. As we have seen, we have a very heterogeneous picture. During the dry season, we have some places where we have increasing trends, other we have decreasing trends. So this tool alone cannot cannot be used alone as for decision making, but it has to be. It can only provide relevant information that then people on the ground can use for making decisions. So it's just like a tool that is available, that can be used, but it would always have to be in cooperation with people on the ground.
Thank you, Sylvan. There are some questions, actually a lot of questions in the chat box, if you could answer it, because I need to take on for other presentation. Thank you again, Sylvan and Tobias, for such a short amount of time, but a lot of information.
Okay,
thank you.
Then let me see. Are there tools to measure the development of eutrophication of lakes over
Sylvan,
time?
could you answer, type it in the chat? I'm really sorry.
Okay, I understand.
Moving
Yes.
forward. Thank
yes,
you.
Okay, thank you very much.
I would like to invite the Ethiopian team to present their work, which is here. Please unmute yourself and present.
Okay, thank you. This is our outline. I think I have to make the video off because of instability in connection. We are going to present it in teams from different partners we are working with. So next slide, please. Yeah, as an introduction about the Shala sub-basin, there are around 44 districts in the sub-basin. It forms one of the biodiversity hotspots of Ethiopia, supporting many aquatic birds, species, and ruminants. It contains Zwai, Shala, Abjata, and the Langano catchments. And the wetland values are not well understood, and the limited interventions have been carried out in this area. And there are a lot of challenges, the main challenges being land degradation, market access, irrigation expansion, reduction of lake storage, pollution, and the like. And based on that, the project is designed with the general objective of food security and nutrition in Zwai Shala sub-basin is improved by safeguarding wetlands through ecologically sustainable agricultural water management. And with two main approaches, integrated landscape approach and a market system development approach. We are working with Wetland International, Caritas Switzerland, IUMI, and Hydro Solutions as a partner. And the target areas are 4 waradas in Oromia regional states and the 2 zones. These are Adami Tulu, Jiddo Kombolcha, Dugda, Zwai Dugda, and the Tiyo waradas. Next.
Thank you. For illustration purpose, we have mapped the Zwai Shala basin and our intervention areas, specifically the 4 waradas that defines the major catchment areas. The map is not comprehensive, but tentatively maps the system actors the project worked with, as well as the key intervention areas. As a consortium, We have worked and collaborated with a wide range of actors based on the lake side, the upper side, but also coming from outside the lake basin. System actor listed on the left side in map ring shaped, longing from the key government offices, especially line department offices like agriculture, cooperative, and finance from ministry to local level. Of course, smallholder farmers, women, and the users, the producers, cooperatives, primary cooperatives and the unions, farmer training centers, private sectors, as well as universities and research centers. Key intervention package listed on the right side, the diamond shaped, longing from, please, would you mind to put back, please? Yeah. Longing from awareness raising, capacity building, landscape restoration, resource allocation tools, technology demonstration, as well as market linkage, mainly for business model income generation. Moreover, also landscape-based tools and the mechanisms were developed. Thank you. Next.
Next again. This is just about outcomes. Next slide. Yeah, when we come to outcome 1, which is wetlands in the landscape will be safeguarded and the food security of the area improved. We did restoration activities in the upper catchments. We managed about 589 hectares of rehabilitation in the upper catchments. And then in the lower catchment, we managed the buffer zone. We demarcated around 29.5 kilometers, and bylaws are developed, and the policy briefs from the buffer zone is drafted. As to the restoration, we also link it back, please. Back one slide. Yeah, as to the restoration, we linked the CBOs to the livelihoods. There are 4 CBOs with around 1,814 members engaged on beekeeping, so that they will keep the restored area. And in the middle catchments, we did best agronomic practices that include modification of farm practice, like furrow irrigation, shape weeds, length modification to reduce the wastage or the losses of water. And also we did vermicomposting that increases the productivity, reduce cost of production, and also reduce the pollution from inorganic fertilizers. And we also did home gardening that contributed to food and nutrition and the income for the smallholder farmers. The other is capacity building. We worked or we trained established CBOs and the local stakeholders on watershed in the buffer zones. We also capacitated them by giving some hand tools and other materials that will help them in restoration activities and the buffer zone management. And there is also a multi-stakeholder platform that is facilitated by Wetlands International. In the 3 rounds of meetings was conducted. This all contributing to this outcome 1. Next slide.
Yes, in terms of economic improvement and based on our project basis and Int'l assessment conducted, 92.4% of smallholder producers targeted by the project have confirmed that they increased their income. This means, please would you put it, yeah. This means in terms of progress toward long-term outcome 2, that means 44% have experienced an income increased. Next. Next, please. Yeah. In terms of achievement of intermediate outcome 2-1, the experience of food production failure over the past 3 years was reduced by 19% over baseline. Next. Next, please. Next. Nurpur, please, next. Next again. Next, please.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, yes. In terms of achievement of intermediate outcome 2-2, the project has collaborated with and capacitated 129 service providers that also delivered service to smallholder farmers in many ways along project implementation. The service providers included to a long extent provide private input suppliers, but also other system actors such as government extension workers, research centers are included here. Moreover, the project contributed to creating enabling environment at landscape level. So, radio broadcasting, market leakage platform, high-level brainstorming session, and business assessments were most of the intervention taken. Thank you. Next.
Okay, I'm going to present the contribution of Hydro Solutions and DME to create enabling conditions for ISWAM and wetlands management. The target actors were various sectoral offices at local and sub-basin level. To arrive at this outcome, we first created capacity for water accounting at the Region Development Office. This has been achieved through organization of various training workshops, and that helped us to capacitate more than 100 local experts. We also co-developed and piloted around 5 tools that supported water allocation planning in the sub-basin. The other contribution from our side was to improve both the traditional and also low-cost monitoring for river water or river discharge. This involved piloting citizen science program, as well as piloting web-based monitoring of the lake. IMI also created favorable conditions for ISWAM implementation by developing and preparing various guidelines. Those guidelines targeted buffer zone management, integrated landscape approach, and multi-stakeholder platform coordination. The guideline for the multi-stakeholder platform coordination was prepared based on the request from the Ministry of Water and Energy, who started coordinating such platforms for water and land management. Under SAWEL, we published several knowledge products and we shared them with relevant authorities to raise awareness and change practice toward this ISWAM implementation. Next.
Paisa, please.
Okay, sorry. From reflection among consultant partners and preparation of this event, we have deducted impact statements to illustrate and evidence the project's income. The project has improved people's perception about natural resource and wetland protection, established knowledge base for improved water allocation planning and land restoration, protection through generation of empirical evidence. It also collected awareness, enhanced skills, and a collective understanding about water allocation through series of trainings, coaching, and co-development of water and land management. It also helped to improve households' income and the living standards of this project participants. Income has been clearly measured through the studies carried out by the project. And it is also effectively demonstrated that integrating complementary approach such as integrated land management and market system development approach has result in great and mutually benefited. It has also created enabling condition for better water and land management and established good relationships and community trust to scale up promising intervention in the continue. Thank you. Next.
As to the testimonies from the project, this is the case of SaWeL Warada on vermicomposting, where 2 farmers are taken as a sample, and the productivity increased very much. Actually, the vermicomposting increases productivity, and this is the case where a very high, huge yield gain was obtained due to this vermicomposting at SaWeL Dugda Warada. And it's not only the productivity, but also they get additional income from the sale of worms and also the composts. Next slide. This one is on restoration. Actually, it's also from the same Warada, SaWeL Dugda Warada, where we demarcated a bare land and we did some soil water conservation activities and plantation, where the area is rehabilitated and a lot of improvements on the soil, on vegetation growth, and the wildlife habitats become inhabiting the area and the biodiversity increases. Yeah, next slide. Sorry, okay.
Yes, maybe as this video, as we can't hear this video directly, it's better to shift to the photos. Yes, we have captured some few voices as testimonies from our project by means of brief videos. Due to the technical failure to display the videography testimonies, let us activate our backup. We have extracted key messages from the video as follows. So she is called Safia Funge from Adamitulujido Kombolcha Warada, Ilka Chalamu Kabele. She stated as follows. Caritas Switzerland gave us enough training on increasing productivity and avoid costs by using vermicomposting, and we are seeing significant changes in our life. The main value we got are, first, our children are now much healthier and free of sickness. Second, we are relieves of unnecessary costs of fertilizers, which costs, the fertilizer costs around 7,000 to 12,000 Ethiopian birr. Now we have healthier diet and our children are healthier too. We are happy that the training helps the future generations. Therefore, we are spreading these valuable lessons to our neighbors when they meet on coffee ceremony and also water collection place. This is what she stated. Next slide. Yes. This is also from Highland, from Tiyo Warada. She is called Aragash from Tiyo Warada Odadawata Kabale. She stated as follows. I started this work with green manure manuring. First, I planted potatoes at my home garden. I applied 24 quintals composting for potato at my home garden. Then I used another 25 quintal for barley at my field. I also applied some to avocados and the other plants at my home garden. For this barley, you see in the field, we have been waiting for fertilizers for entire rainy season, but we hardly find. Instead, we moved to composting. The composting she is stating is vermicomposting. It is very simple, and we use everything for composting. There is no waste in our home. We used all manures from our surrounding, and we are able to improve our healthy, safe costs. Watching what we achieved this year, I am sure that all our neighbors will do some same as we did. The next slide. Next, please. Yeah.
Lemma, can we skip reading the screens?
Yes. The third. Yeah.
I'm sorry, we are running out of
Short
time.
explanation only.
Okay, thank you. On this slide, the first picture shows hydrological technicians measuring river velocity with our support. The second picture shows researcher and farmer measuring water withdrawal with simple technology. And the third picture was taken during one of our tool co-development workshop. At the bottom, we see maps which were co-developed with Basin Development Office experts. All this information has been used to prepare a water allocation model for the SaWeL sub-basin. And this has been documented in various publications, and some of them are shown here, working papers as well as scientific articles. We also synthesize our findings and recommendations using technical brief, and we share this with local authorities who are responsible for managing the SaWeL water resources. Next, please. Here, the first picture shows meaningful engagement of community to prepare the buffer zone management plan. The second set of pictures were taken during our extensive field visit in the SaWeL sub-basin to prepare or investigate opportunities for forest and landscape restoration. So here also we have documented all this in technical report for buffer zone management as well as forest and landscape opportunities. We also published a working paper to guide social inclusive implementation of ISWA. Next, please.
Okay. As to lessons learned, there are a lot of lessons learned from the project. Just we pointed out 9 of them. Participatory planning, the decision making is one of the strategy to successful adoption and implementation of integrated landscape approach and buffer zone management. Capacity building and the community dialogue and advocacy activities have contributed to environmental conscious and the protection and the sustainable management of critical wetlands. Using cheap and the local materials, as in the cases of vermicomposting and the furrow irrigation management, facilitated adoption of farm technologies in the area. Ongoing efforts of water allocation plan preparation are short-lived interventions, but we need long-term support of basin administration offices through knowledge co-creation, data generation, and capacity building. Social inclusion can be effective if it is based on understanding the local context. Multi-stakeholder platform coordination, monitoring of initiatives, and collaboration and the sharing of experience is important for broader impacts in the sustainability of interventions. Through nutrition, zone nutrition was not at the core of indicator measured findings from the inline evaluation indicates positive impact on household nutrition. Home gardens have shown great potential for improving household nutrition through the diversification of vegetables grown. The formal financial service sector in the project still needs to continue developing financial packages that serve the realistic needs of rural smallholders and the demand of the providers. And finally, successful market linkage beyond the local level remains a challenge, as agroecological production yet remains to be prioritized, encouraged, or incentivized. If the market incentives cannot be guaranteed, farmers require alternative incentives like cost saving. Next. As to the opportunities for upscaling, there is enabling environment
Sorry,
policies.
Desalin, could you
Yes.
finish up quick? Thank you.
Yes. I'm going through it. As an enabling environment, there is enabling government policies in Ethiopia on natural resource conservation. And most of the interventions were led by local partners so that they can replicate and sustain in the intervention area. And upscaling within the basin to other waradas and across the basins like Lake Tana, there is a high demand on that. Some donors are prioritizing supporting basin authority offices for better management. There is also new projects focusing on upscaling by UMI in the Farm Africa. There is also a new and ongoing projects from Wetlands International in sustaining the successes from the project and also upscaling the SaWeL document to guide future investments. And Ministry of Water and Energy will take full responsibility in the started coordinating multi-stakeholder platform for water management. Basin authority offices empowered staff who are encouraged by International Water Management Institute to replicate water allocation plan modeling to other sub-basins. Next. When we come to what to upscale, the first is landscape restoration rehabilitation, including buffer zone management can be scaled up. The other is this improved agricultural practices like vermicomposting, organic farming, and water use efficiency. The other is supportive stakeholders through multi-stakeholder platforms. That is a partnership between government organizations, non-government organizations, community, and the researchers. The other is refined technology strategy to continue refining the diversifying business models for smallholders through service delivery, harnessing entrepreneurship potential for women and the youth within the system framework. Institutionalized nutrition activities continue leveraging nutritional impact by complementing system-level interventions with a scaling of home gardens as a model that contribute to income as well as, and the other is, well, to sustain this SaWeL project successes, CBO establishment or restoration sites, linking the restoration with environmentally friendly livelihoods, active local stakeholder engagement and community participation, social inclusion, and a multi-stakeholder platform will be the measures to be taken for success. Thank you.
Thank you, Desalin, Amare, Alam Sehid, and Sabina and the entire team of SaWeL. There is a lack of 20 minutes that we have because we invested in introducing each other in the beginning. So I am missing one presentation, which is on ecological and sustainable agricultural water management practices, ESAWM, which is by our consultant Zelika. I think we do not have that time, Zelika. I would like to apologize on behalf of Wetlands International, but there is one more opportunity that we have with SDC and Stephanie in picture. We have a webinar that is coming up. We will send you the details soon so that the ESAWM can be integrated and shared in the webinar. If that is okay. I'm really sorry that we could not make it on time. probably the next event that we will have better organization, we will have better technological support, and we would be in better time. I sincerely apologize.
Jane, just until you share the Lucas PowerPoint, if you give me opportunity, just a few seconds, I would like to elaborate a bit low-hanging fruits and opportunity as we go forward, regardless of the source of funding.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear who's talking because there are several recordings going on around.
This is Amare from IMI, sitting with Sajjad here.
Okay.
Just to say a few things until you share Zalaka's PowerPoint on the future opportunities.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, really. This is very, very inspiring productive, despite all the COVID challenges we faced all over the world. I think an important aspect of low-hanging fruit or opportunity as we go forward is the newly initiated $700 million new program by the World Bank and the Ministry of Agriculture. This is a resilient food system program. I think they're looking for so many of the technology tested and demonstrated under this SaWeL, and also the great green legacy, whereby the Ethiopian green legacy, the great green wall, whereby the green legacy is an important pillar to that. I think those are an extremely important opportunity to take SaWeL's product forward. This is one thing. There are several other programs emerging in relation to this, the New Farm Africa project. I think it is already mentioned, EU financed it. There are some more opportunities. I think exploring those opportunities together from different funding sources, I think this would be critical for every one of us just moving forward together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amare. I apologize for speeding everyone up. I would like to give the opportunity to Stephanie. I really think that it's a good time that we could conclude it. Stephanie?
Stephanie, I think we cannot hear you. Maybe there's something wrong with the micro.
Do you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, apologies. Sorry, I won't go into all the detail of the planned elements which were on the agenda for me, but I rather just want to quickly react a bit on what I've been hearing, what we've been seeing through the SaWeL project, and a bit of the priorities for SDC as an institution. So maybe just as a reminder, so the SaWeL project was a call for proposal. It was one among 4 projects which we launched in 2018, 2019, and the idea was to have a program which was able to look at interventions along the whole food systems approach. And so basically not to say we only look at farmers, or we only look at financing mechanisms, or we only look at consumers, but rather how can we make sure that our intervention works along all of these different stakeholders within a food system to try and make it more sustainable, more resilient, and also, of course, a focus on the nutrition. Quickly, just to give a few key elements from what I've been hearing, and thank you so much for the presentations you've shared. It's been very inspiring, and of course, I've seen the developments over the years, and it's very heartwarming to see how the different partners, how you have all been working upon it. The few elements which I first take up is, of course, the necessity and the crucial element of building trust, which is something which can only be done if you work with the partners in the regions, with the communities in a participatory manner to encourage ownership, but also a joint understanding a bit of where you want to go and joining forces. And this was just mentioned in this multi-stakeholder approach. which is also the opportunity to build into upscaling mechanisms. And I think that's something which is also always a bit tricky, because we get so involved into our standard business as usual and doing the activities and answering to the requirements of the donors, of the partners. We have to do this for so many farmers, that we tend to forget what other mechanisms we can have for upscaling. So that was the first point. The second, which I think is crucial also, is that you've developed here a wide set of knowledge, and be it developed jointly or be it taken up from the various partners who've intervened in the project. And so here it's all about, of course, either adopting improved agroecological practices or adapting the service providers to the needs of the smallholder farmers. It's also about how to connect the authorities to the real needs of the communities, etc. But it's also developing innovative technologies, like has been done by Hydro Solutions, for being able to help strategic steering, evidence-based decision making. So I think that's one element. And what I think is also important to remember is we're not working alone, and every new set of project or partners should not be starting from scratch, but that there is a wealth of information which is available online, which is available with different partners. I've shared a reference in the chat to Grant, but just so to remember, we don't need to start from scratch all the time. There is a huge load of information available online, available with partners. So don't hesitate to ever reach out. I think there can be some hoops and loops which can be skipped if we know a bit to whom to reach out to. And the last element, of course, is the access to the inputs and the equipment, which has been worked on and is still also links on to the knowledge. So how to do vermicomposting to reduce the dependence on imported fertilizers, etc. Within SDC, we have, in our food system section, we have 3 sets of priority topics, and 2 of them is agroecology, where we encourage looking and focusing on the local and regional scales, working towards a landscape approach. So of course, landscape, what is a landscape? Is it the watershed's geographic limitations? We want to rather focus it on the market linkages to make sure you have the food system and their actors fully involved. And then the second priority we have is on nutrition. And there, I think it's something which we often usually forget in our agricultural activities. It's that to be able to have a market which is active, you need to make sure that the demand is there, and that the consumers or that the families, the communities understand, recognize the value of such more ecological production, but also the benefits of having more environmentally friendly and sustainable management of the resources. So I think that's something which requires a lot of communication, a lot of work, but which needs to be still more strongly reinforced in this understanding. And the key element, of course, of this project was to work on resilience. So focusing on the local scale, and we had a small discussion in the chat about this, how to strengthen local communities to be a bit more autonomous in the inputs, in their production, in the market access. So yeah, these are the key elements I wanted to mention, and quickly. I speak quickly, but I tried to make this short. Overall, just to mainly say that this was a very ambitious program, clearly recognized as such, and we regret having had to have it only within one phase. We do hope that with the support of the various partners, the activities have been embedded within the communities. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank, on behalf of SDC, the work and commitment from all the partners around this project and their activities, so the Wetlands International and the national teams. A few of you are here, of course, Caritas and the national teams, IVMI and the national teams also, Hydro Solutions and their innovative developments for water monitoring, and all the local partners, of course, which are not virtually around the table today, which have made all of this possible. So with this, I'll stop here. Thank you so very much for all this. And I do hope that the future will be able to prove that everything is convincing, and that you'll be able to, of course, make this sustainable. I just want to send a last, let's say, a flag or hand in the air to say, don't hesitate to reach out if there is any need or any question. And also that we have national cooperation officers in Ethiopia and in Mali. They are working, and I do hope that the national teams, you have met and interacted with them up to a certain point, but that there are also potential opportunities of just sharing knowledge, sharing best practices, or linking up on different partners and activities which are being done in the similar areas. So with that, thank you very much, and I'll hand it over back to you, Nupur.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. I sincerely apologize, Zelika. To all the participants who were able to join us, I thank you on behalf of the whole SaWeL team. I will share the resources, the question and answers that were shared in the chat. I'm going to send it across again in the email. For Zelika specifically, I'm going to connect with Stephanie later for the webinar, and I'm going to connect again with you. We'll disturb you again. And then we'll share the proper agenda so that we all can spread it in our network and have more and more participants come up with questions. Charlie, on to you for your last words.
Yeah, thank you very much. I also would like to say a big thank you to everybody who's participated this afternoon, not just in the project, and also especially to Zelika for not having the opportunity. But as Nupur says, we take it forward. I do have some notes from our program director, Femke Tonic, who joined us and had to leave. As you see, she wrote some notes in the chat box. I would just like to read out the longer version that she and I had worked on. It's only taking about 60 seconds. So it's a pleasure for me to help close this unusual project, which for 4 years was an important feature of our Wetlands International work in an important region for us, contributing to our strategic intent through the restoration and sustainable management of vital wetland resources in this arid region. We know the project's implementation was difficult, also with a difficult timing, including COVID-19 and the return and rise of political insecurities and armed conflicts, but also widespread changes in the world and even in our own organizations. To begin with, it was ambitious and challenging, and that makes projects difficult. However, the project achieved a lot, and for that we are thankful. We have these many outputs and outcomes from these 3 sites, and for this we are proud and thankful. Thankful to our colleagues and partners, especially those in Ethiopia and Mali, especially those in our partners in this consortium. Caritas Switzerland, thank you. International Water Management Institute, thank you. Hydro Solutions, thank you. Our partnership was tested many times. We thank you for your dedication and commitment to the project to the end. We are thankful also, especially to the Swiss government, to SDC with its offices in Bern, in Ethiopia, and in Mali, for their funding support and for their advice and technical pointers as well throughout the implementation. Thank you. And most importantly, the last message that we want to impart is that we retain the ambitious spirit and the collaborative spirit and the pioneering spirit of SaWeL. We will make sure that the outputs and outcomes and lessons from SaWeL are capitalized in our work in these 2 countries, which we are already working to upscale. So thank you for this. Thank you everybody for the work this afternoon. And Nupur will be working on packaging together with myself and our team the outputs of this meeting into written formats and sharing everything so that we can have this nicely in one place. And from my side, thank you very much as well.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening. I will catch up with everyone with the resources. Thank you, Stephanie, for your time. Thank you again.
Thanks to all of you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Have
you.
a nice time.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Merci, au revoir.
Bye. Au revoir. Thank you.